You had two practices this week preparing for your first scrimmage. How did you really design your two practices this week? I know you kind of had one sort of get canceled and pushed to this morning, but overall, what did you and your staff want to accomplish in these two practices before you do the real thing tomorrow?
Well, we came out on Tuesday and we banged pretty good. We had some live periods, and so we really got a first opportunity to tackle to the ground. Today, this morning, we got a lot done, but yet we didn't. It was mostly contact. We controlled the tackling part of it because we're going to have a big day tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the first test for these guys and see where we're at.
For you and the guys, you, of course, get to watch some film and practice and then adjust. How do you feel you guys have really kind of adapted to finally watching film again and then learning from those mistakes and applying them to the following practice?
You know, I've been encouraged about the tempo. Tomorrow we'll see what football. We got to be able to hear football. We got to see football, and by doing that, we want to hear pads popping. We want to hear communication out there and see how we handle adversity, good and bad. You know, with the offense, if something happens, how are they going to respond? And with the defense, if a big play happens, if they got short-term memory and they can come back and play the next play.
As you look towards tomorrow for the scrimmage, you find out a lot in practices. How much more do you find out in a scrimmage?
Well, we're going to find a lot. You know, we're going to see, number one, you know, how we block, how we run through tackles, and how we tackle as a defense. And that's going to be a big part of what we're going to do. We're going to run the football, and we got to stop the run, and that'll be a big test tomorrow.
I know when fans kind of look at a scrimmage, they'll go, okay, who's with the ones, who's with the twos? How much do you guys really, as a coaching staff, even pay attention to that?
We don't. We're rotating guys in there. You know, I don't know who the starting quarterback is. I don't know who the starting safeties are. I don't know who the starting tailback. I really don't know. We don't either as a staff. And tomorrow we'll start putting people in place, and it'll be a big test for us.
As you've had multiple practices already, where do you feel, you mentioned tempo and guys learning about tempo and really starting to build that culture. I know it's so early and you got a lot of time left, but how do you feel the guys have adapted to kind of learning your culture and the staff's culture?
Well, you know, I think they've come to work every day. You know, in our off days when we're allowed to meet, I see a lot of good learning, a lot of good teaching, and that's where it's got to start, is in the classroom. And then when we come out on the field, that they take the classroom to the field, and that everything's moving at that kind of tempo. And that's what we got to continue to do, is just keep pressing, and and keep these guys moving at a fast tempo.
When you look at the format for the scrimmage tomorrow, why did you choose that format? And what more about that format do you think will help you and the staff kind of find out as you continue to press on this spring?
Well, we want to space it out. We want to space out how much contact we're having and giving them enough rest in between, because we got to stay healthy. And, you know, we're trying to not bang them in between, you know, and although we had a practice this morning, we really controlled how much hitting we were doing. So we really wanted to control that because tomorrow is going to be a big hit day.
I know just due to this sport, it's a physical sport, and you are with the same issues that every staff across this country deals with. How difficult of a balance is that, judging what's too hard, what's too soft, and especially when you get to a scrimmage, knowing you got to get guys through and prepare for the fall eventually?
You know, the way we practice, you know, and the way we tackle, keeping the head out of the tackle, I mean, that's a big emphasis. Things that we get done in our individual and how we're teaching tackling, and that we're not leading with our head and we're keeping our head out of the tackle. But yet that's how we're going to practice majority of the time, and how we practice majority of the time is going to be what we call thud, and it's contact, but it's not taken to the ground. It's a first thud, and then from that point on it becomes a tag off, and it just limits the amount of tackling and banging that you do. And then when we go live, man, it is live. It is live, and we are going full steam ahead.
1, 2, 3. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Another chance. Yeah.